Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all, some more boxing talk here. Looks like 2021 could be interesting. I'm not saying it is yet for boxing, but it could be once again, because this is the second fight of 2021 that we could possibly have on the horizon. First fight, I talked about on this channel is Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. The way these two have been going back and forth, even on Mike Tyson's podcast, they've been exchanging words off of Twitter, Instagram, just social media as a whole. And, even them two talking on the phone like that, it's letting you know that they really want this fight. And if they want this fight like this, I think fans and I think the promoters should listen to the fans here, because the fans really want this fight. So hopefully that happens. But while that's going on, I think that Teofimo Lopez, who said some things last year that kind of, annoyed me and kind of irked me about Devin Haney. He had his choice of words about Devin Haney to try to say he's not deserving of the fight, or just to avoid that fight himself. I don't know why, because if he wanted the fight, he would take it, right? But it seems like Teofimo Lopez is now interested in a fight with the WBC champion Devin Haney. Of course, Teofimo, he's the unified champion, and don't get that wrong now. Like, I know a lot of people want to say just because Devin Haney got his belt mailed to him or whatever, he is the champion. He does hold that legit belt. There are no other, little twists and turns to that where it favors Teofimo Lopez, because we know Teofimo holds the franchise belt. And Mauricio Sulaiman's already said, he's going on record, it's online. He says that the franchise belt is not an actual belt. It's just like an award type of belt where it can exempt you to certain things, but it's not the full-on WBC belt. That's why there's the WBC belt, right? And then there's the franchise belt. So casual fans and people who don't want to accept Haney as that WBC champion, just get over that. He is the WBC champion, however you want to slice it. He has that belt. So this fight is for undisputed. So with that being said, this fight here is another must. And I think Teofimo Lopez has realized that. He's definitely realized that he needs this fight, because he sees what Ryan Garcia and Tank is doing. He sees what type of energy they're bringing. They're bringing raw energy, and they're bringing the type of raw energy that says, forget the politics, forget all that BS, forget the money talk. That'll come. Let's just get in the ring and fight. And I think Ryan Garcia and Tank, the way they're talking, is kind of showing him up. He's the guy with all the belts, but he's not the guy that's talking that he wants to defend it right away. Every time he's been asked about Devin Haney, he's saying Devin Haney has to show me something. Well, you still got to show us something. And it was just, like I said, it was just one of those things that irks me with, like, Teofimo. I know that he has all the belts, but he's trying to act like he's in this high position already just off of one win. He's asking for $10 million for a Devin Haney fight, which I know, and I respect fighters now that they want to know their worth. And, that's probably like his top offer, but he's going to settle for something less. That's why he's throwing that highest offer out there that he wants, that highest pay grade that he could get at $10 million, to probably settle for like a 5 or 6. But let's be realistic. You're still not on the level of even like a Danny Garcia as a superstar, or even an Errol Spence right now. You still have to earn that. So by earning that, you start to make statements. You do more than one signature fight, one big statement fight. So you beat Lomachenko, go ahead and get Devin Haney in there. Don't say Devin Haney has to prove something to you, or he has to show you something. He's in the division too. He holds a belt. Whatever you want to call him as a champion, but he holds a belt. So you clean the division out. You get his belt. You get those names in a row. You beat a Lomachenko, then you beat a Haney if that's what you want to do to prove your worth. And then you go off and fight the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis winner, and that's how you build your resume up and your groundwork up. You don't outprice yourself at an early stage of your career, even if you do have all the belts. Hell, there's been champions in the past that got all the belts off of one fight, then they lose it in the next fight. So you got to prove your worth. You really got to prove your worth, and that's something I want to see Teofimo Lopez do moving forward. Because like I always say, winning the belts is easier than defending the belts. And I think he kind of knows that too, going into a Devin Haney fight. That might be why he's trying to outprice himself. Let's start putting together some type of reputation here, where you want to be a fighter that wants to defend these belts. You're in it for the long haul. Take out this other young undefeated fighter who holds another belt. Roy Jones, whenever he was a champion, he wanted every single belt. He didn't care what belt it was. So imagine if this was Roy and he saw Devin Haney with the WBC belt. He'd be like, oh, I want that belt. Nobody can have belts when I'm in the division, so you're supposed to clean it out. So Teofimo, I think he's starting to realize that, look, I got to clean this division out. Ryan and Tank, two undefeated young fighters, are fighting. Well, I got to get the next best fight, which is Devin Haney, and that's what he needs to do right now. So Devin Haney and Teofimo, I feel like they need to take the same approach, take to social media, which they've been doing. Devin Haney, I seen on his Instagram, he's posted up the fan art, Haney versus Lopez, which would be for Undisputed. That's another way to get it out there that a lot of fighters are starting to do. They put those pictures up to let everybody know that the fight could happen if y'all just keep sharing it and letting them know. So I'm just making a video on the same thing too, because I'm like, I want this fight to happen. Haney versus Lopez. I think they both have a lot to prove here. Even though Teofimo has the majority of the belts, he still has a lot to prove. He still has to defend his belts against a young skilled technician like Devin Haney. Now, how this fight is going to play out, I think Devin Haney, he does have the skill and the technique, but I feel like Teofimo, he has timing and power, and he has boxing ability. He definitely has boxing ability. The way he was able to nullify a lot of Lomachenko's trademark moves. But you're dealing with a taller, longer fighter, physically strong fighter that I feel like is still growing into his man strength in Devin Haney. But I feel like Devin Haney has the speed advantage, the footwork advantage, and just the overall cautious mind set, which I think a lot of people don't appreciate in Devin Haney right now. Devin Haney has the IQ. Devin Haney has an IQ where I think following in the footsteps of Floyd Mayweather, he's one of those young fighters that thinks self-preservation first. That's why he boxes so much more defensive minded, which is smart. But I think he can go in there and close the show when he gets older and stronger and more powerful and really turns those punches over. But right now, I think that he does possess some great skill that would upset Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez, he does have that equalizer. He has the power, and he also has decent skill. So it's a fight that must happen. It's a fight that must happen for 2021. I think if we get these two fights here, it'll start to narrow down who's the better fighter. At the same time, when they all four fight, we can give them all their credit. We can give them all their credit, winners and losers. We can say they wanted to fight the best at lightweight, and that's what we want to see. I think, once these two fighters fight, these four fighters fight, the winners fight, and then the losers can fight, and then rematches can happen. And that's what people want. They don't care if one person takes over. Like if Garcia was to lose the fight, we want to see him come back and fight maybe Tank in a rematch, or someone else down the line like a Devin Haney again. We just want to see these guys mix it up, because if they are the four elite, in the 135-pound division, and why not mix it up? Once you lose, that doesn't really knock your stock down. You go come back against another guy. So that's what it's all about in boxing, man. And I mean, MMA's been showing boxing up with that, the best fighting the best. So yeah, my thoughts on this fight right now, like I said, Teofimo, he's saying he wants it. Devin Haney, he's acknowledging that, because he wants those belts too. He wants to be undisputed. So just make it happen. It's a fight that needs to happen. So guys, in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. This fight has to happen. It's one of the I won't say second best, but it's right up there with Tank and Ryan Garcia as far as getting me excited about boxing again. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I'll revisit this topic more. Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.